All right, world. Here we go.
Here we
I'm
are.
with the legendary Tony Koehl. We've been meaning to do this interview for a long time now.
Yeah.
So he first helped us at the Heathen House 4 or 5 months ago, Arkansas Death Fest.
Yep.
The
The Brett Fest.
Brett's Death Fest.
Yep, Brett's Death
Made the
Fest.
flyer, and the whole time, just like this weekend, I'm like, I'll do the interview tomorrow morning. Okay, we'll do it maybe tomorrow, the next morning. Okay, we'll do it. And it just never happened. So then the same thing, I got to pick him up from the airport. I'm like, we'll do it when we get there. We fucking don't do it. Never happened. So now we're at my house. The fest is done. We got a few hours left, and we're forcing this interview. So we're making it happen.
I don't know about forcing, but just
yeah.
long overdue.
Putting in the 30 minutes or so it takes
Sure,
to get the
whatever.
fucking shit rolling. But
Yeah. No, I'm glad we're doing it, man.
hell yeah.
Yeah, because we always talk about it. And so my second time in Arkansas. Great time so far. It's 2 for 2 in my book. I had a wonderful time. The weather was amazing. It was nice and cool. So we just came back from the Field of the Dead, part 2, and did some live art at it. Did the artwork also for the festivals. A lot of fun. Incantation played amongst other main amazing bands. So it was a good time.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so it's been it's been rough getting here. But glad we got here. Now we got the festival, and now in a few hours to get dropped back off to get to go home. But this is kind of a cherry on top of all this metal that we've been experiencing and rocking out to.
It was definitely a fun weekend. So last time you were here was July, correct?
I think it's July or June.
Yeah, I mean, it was summertime. So
Yeah,
it was
summertime.
cooking. There were flies.
Yeah.
And this was like perfect. Not one fly, I don't think. Nothing I
Nope.
saw.
Yeah. Nothing annoying.
It was a little nippy, but just barely.
It was beautiful in my book.
I had
for
a
sure.
long sleeve shirt. It was perfect. So the weather was perfect.
Yeah.
The treehouse was all lit up.
Yeah. They did the add-on to it, which was the little roof, and they
Yeah, it looks so
extended
good.
it,
So good.
and then put the slide in there, and then they have the big sand pit, and then they have 4 axes. You can throw axes
Right.
or sharpen.
I didn't even know that was there till we were leaving earlier.
a knife sharpen. That was pretty cool. And then we were looking at where they're going to have the other stage. So it's fun to go hang out at the Heathen House and see and talk about, daydream about all the upgrades. And next time we get there, and they exist, that's pretty fun.
In the one and only.
Yeah.
Cord, Arkansas.
Cord, Arkansas. Yeah, but it's cool. So it was a lot of fun. Definitely enjoy coming out here. And now we're here. I can say sorry for the lack of energy and enthusiasm and all the stuff, which we just had a long couple days. And once again, sad that it's over. But I'm ready for the next adventure. Going on next Sunday, I'm going to be doing live art in San Diego at the Metal Swap Meet, which is really cool. Did it last year, had a lot of fun, and they were nice enough to have me there again this year. So now I'm better prepared. I'm actually going to have a 10 by 20 space, and one of the 10 by 10s is going to be nothing but original art. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
I should have brought my little live art that I did with you.
Oh, yeah.
I can probably put it in post pro or whatever.
Oh yeah, we had.
I got to do live art with Tony, the live art king, as far as the death metal live art
that I've seen. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure you invented it.
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah.
Definitely one of the first to participate and try to inspire others to do so.
But I've seen it for almost 20 years now since MySpace, and that's how long I've known this guy. And
Yep, absolutely.
I've daydreamed locally of hey, we should do this kind of. You've made me kind of want to dive into adding art to my local shows or whatever. I just
Definitely should.
Never really did. But I have to say, I really did enjoy, like you were saying, when you're just killing time because there's so much downtime at a death fest in between bands or just
lots of it.
Even just the chaos of it all. It's just good to kind of just not think about it for a second, or at least just have your mind kind of calm while it's going down. But it was really cool. I enjoyed doing it. Plus, I haven't done art in I can't even tell you how long it's been. So it was fun just to use that part of my brain again.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the space. The table's big enough, and then I get the watercolor paper, and I just cut them up in fourths. So they're fairly small. You can.
I always like small.
Yeah, they're enough where they're not daunting, and you can get a little illustration done or a little painting done. Bring enough materials for people to share and do, and that's kind of the idea. And yeah, it was fun. Like I said, I think you're like fourth or fifth person that I was doing live art with yesterday, and that was really cool.
Right.
I think Tesla, she starts it out, and then you, Eric, I think two Erics, a couple other people.
Nobody was finishing.
Ari did as well. Yeah.
That was always my thing too, was finishing. And
Chris Williams from
Perception of the Torment.
Yeah, Perception. So I would say Pot.
which anyone watching, great band.
Yeah, all great bands. They all crushed it. Sound was really fun. JP and Chris did a wonderful job like they did last time. Yep. The lights, it's cool that they had lights, and it was nice that it wasn't really windy or like it didn't rain on any of the guys there performing and gals performing. It was good to have the back line. It was nice that you had the back line. Nice that you were there to allow them to use that really beautiful Gretsch black the back line available to them. But yeah, some drummers have their own stuff, and I think it went pretty smooth, fairly smooth. Even when things got pushed back a little bit, I think everything went on time. I mean, when did Incantation end last night? Around 1:30 or something?
I don't know when they ended.
It wasn't too late.
I think it might have been 30 minutes pushed back, possibly.
Yeah, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like
bad.
No 4 in the morning or anything.
No.
It was respectable for a headlining band to end. But no, it was really cool. I saw before I was breaking things down yesterday, there was one of your stick bugs. We don't have stick bugs.
Oh,
and
dude, I love stick bugs.
Yeah, from where I'm at, so I was like really excited about it. I was like, "Oh, look at you, you're beautiful!" So I was able to nerd out, and I was just thinking, my daughter would lose her mind just to even see it. She'd probably want to keep it and put it in a jar, and I got to deal with this thing for the next year.
We were cleaning out our pool. I mean, we're always cleaning out our pool, but the last time we did, I found a stick bug, and I was so I stared at it for like 10 minutes, like up close, like, man, they're fucking. Yeah, they look like a goddamn stick.
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
hence the name.
Yeah, hence the name.
But yeah,
durable creature.
It might be one of my favorite bugs.
Yeah,
that's what I realized.
Yeah,
they're fucking cool.
And then you also guys have lightning bugs here too, right?
Oh, I love lightning bugs.
Yeah,
too.
That's cool. Yeah, we get that.
We have a lot of bugs, I guess.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of bugs. You guys have an incredible amount of mosquitoes here too.
Yeah,
that's
they're not all the bugs are great.
Mosquitoes are pretty intense here. I would say that. The other bugs are pretty fun to check out. You have really cool frogs that have like a different type of sound.
Yeah, I have a pet frog or a toad.
A toad, dude. I got to try out the front.
Yeah, right. His name's Bernard.
Bernard, that's right. Saw last time I was here.
And then we had a yard leaping frog, I think is what it's called. So we didn't know Larry the leaping frog.
All right.
No, leopard frog. Sorry.
Oh, leopard frog.
Leopard frog. So it was Larry the leaping leopard frog because they have like huge legs and they like hop really fucking far.
Oh, okay.
And they're really fucking loud. So we'd have to like every morning we'd check the basket looking for Larry. And the last time I did it, I grabbed him and he was like, wah, like fucking squealed. And I was like, whoa, this is cool or whatever. But he died.
Yeah.
When I was on tour with Pantheon, Sarah's like, Larry's dead.
Yeah. Larry got dehydrated and shriveled up.
So our yard frog is dead.
Yeah, that happens.
Toad lives on.
Yeah, toads are way more sturdy.
I guess so. Well, he's protected in his little home there.
Well, everything can survive.
But yeah, lots of bugs around here.
Yeah, lots of bugs.
I'm thinking Louisiana in my head, but I guess between Louisiana and Arkansas, like range of bugs. Lightning bugs aren't. I mean, they're here. But I remember in Pennsylvania when I visited my mom up there, they were like shit tons of them. That's where it's really fucking cool.
Yeah, first time I really seen them, I have stepbrother Elliot that lives in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was around summertime. He was graduating high school, and we went to a family's one of his family's party for him for all the kids that were graduating that year. And I remember going out there. It was around dusk. And I'm looking on the ground. I'm like, oh, that's cool. You have little lights in your, those little sparkle twinkle lights, like, in the lawn, right? Because I've never seen them before. And all of a sudden they're moving like up. They're just like flying in the air. I was like, what? And then so cool about them because you can catch them. Like, oh, these are easy to catch. I'm like, oh my God, this is like it's a lightning bug. So I was really stoked on that. And I was like, reverted back to being like a kid in my heart. I'm like, oh, I want to get a jar. I want to collect a bunch of these things.
I did it I didn't realize we had them up here because Louisiana, I don't think we really have them. I don't feel like I ever really see them, but
Yeah, no.
we do around here though.
Yeah, no. The last time I was here, I seen a couple of them at Heath's in the forest over there by the pond. He has that big old pond there.
It's a shame we didn't have the right as far as the eclipse. There was like a solar eclipse or some certain.
So they said, well,
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun regardless. I've seen a few clips.
because that would have been a good place for it to see it.
That would have been.
But I guess Texas was the sweet spot, and we were, didn't have the sweet spot.
That's okay. I was having fun.
And it was during the day, which I guess that made it even cooler if it was just like black.
Yeah, right. It just all of a sudden became night. You're all,
fucking pretty cool actually.
Right. Get the sacrifice. Yeah, whatever. Keep it metal. Anyways, but no, that's that was fun. I mean, that was fun. Well, it's also hard too because so many trees in there, and then I'm under little canopy type of thing going on.
Well, I'm kind of thinking of the treehouse when I was up at the
the treehouse
like,
as well.
At the end of the night, 3 a.m, and I was just like,
yeah, but even still, that's you're up there in the hills, or still up in the trees, but you're just higher up, and it's still hard to see around. You can just see a little sliver of land, But sorry, not land, sky.
Land.
Yeah, sliver of sky. But yeah, no, it's a cool spot, and I'm really excited to see how it is going to continue to grow. I like the ambition that man has for space, and we don't really have something like that I know in this area.
Hell no. I mean, in the U.S., I think it's special. And, it's only going to grow. It's the last show that's going to be on his. Right now, it's like his back patio, basically. So there's a patio, and then there's you pass a fence, and then there's a treehouse with like porta potties and all that bullshit. And it keeps going camping. It's like real long, so everybody's real spread out. So now that it won't be connected to the house, it'll all be congested right there at the treehouse. There's gonna be a stage right there.
Yeah,
so
to the left.
It's gonna be incredible. We were all just standing out there today, just daydreaming about it.
We're sitting in front of a campfire looking at it, and
incredible.
Then where it's all set up, you turn around because in the treehouse, you see where you just look at it, you turn around, you're like, that's where the soundboard's gonna be. Below that, X, Y, and Z. There's gonna be food there.
I can see the whole shit.
Yeah, you can just see it all. It's all just laid out right there. So I'm pretty excited for Heath and the rest of the crew, and just metal in general, just to have a fun place that actually supports the genre. You can have a good time. Everybody there is on the same page, which you're gonna go try to expect. I like how there's a lot of people that never really heard metal, but they're going to go anyways just because it's something to do. I like that. I like how there's open-mindedness for that experience. And wherever you're at in that place, you can always hear the music. And that's really cool.
That is cool.
I like that. So if you're going to be, like, say, in the house, or if you're going to be out on the deck, tree deck, or even farther out camping, or wherever you're at, you can always hear the music. And I think that's pretty exciting. Especially if it's a band you really want to hear. Sometimes nobody tells you what band's playing. What band is it? I'm like, I don't know. Look on the list. I don't know. I think it's so and so. Okay. But yeah.
I mean, and there were several bands that I should know as like one of the main promoters, but Heath books a lot of the stuff. And,
you're right.
Now I'm drawing a blank. Cryptic. What was it? Motherfucking Cryptic Mutation. God, they were so fucking good.
Yeah, there's a lot of good bands that played. Yeah, I mean, I think all of them, man. I definitely would see them again. They're Sleuthfoot. Those guys were fun. We got inspired. They're more of like a kind of a stoner, doomy style band, and Eddie and I were having a good time. I got inspired singing some lyrics to some of their riffs. They were so good. They inspired us to act a fool.
So that was while I was doing a lot of art with them, and it's like I said, stoner metal kind of, and there were even like large sections where there's just no vocals and
and just in your head we're just singing some goofy stuff, but it was good. I thought I would love to have played the song.
So I've realized, or I remembered that on the Pantheon tour that I have like a Jamie Josta / like Tom Araya from Slayer, like holler, like hardcore holler that can just pierce through loud sounds or whatever. So we were basically just screaming. I was saying how much I hate fucking Tony.
We're just acting the fools for sure.
I fucking hate Tony Koehl. Like loud.
It was awesome.
And everyone could hear.
It was hilarious. It was definitely one of my highlights.
And then it led into us being like, it wasn't even like hardcore. It became like, we're fucking singing like Creed style shit as loud as we fucking can.
Yeah. But I don't know, just cool stoner rocky, like Caius, Stone Temple Pilots mixed in with like Jim Morrison, with this slash or touch of Danzig.
Anywho, yeah, Grave Huffer was really good. And my little story with them was so I teach drums at a Guitar Center, and I have this older woman, I don't know, 60 something, and she kept trying to just do like the classic AC/DC, 1 and 2 beat. I mean, for months we were working on this stuff, but like the second or third lesson, I could tell she had like kind of like a metal shirt on. And I'm like, "What shirt are you wearing?" And she's like, "Grave Huffer, man. They're from I got wherever the fuck they're from, but like I don't know if that's from her old hometown or what." But yeah, she brought me a CD, and they're good, man. They're a fucking good band. They're like, it's grindy, but they're like real old school death metal.
Right.
The drummer is really fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is kind of like old school, I guess. But the drummer had like a really nice kit, and I was super impressed. I'm definitely down with having them back at the Heathen House anytime.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I just like the name too. It's a great name.
It is a good name.
Grave Huffer. Good.
Yeah, they were one of the top 10.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I was saying I was impressed with a lot of them. It was a lot of fun.
Flesh Hoarder obviously was great. So
of course.
They just played my birthday party last month or in August.
Yeah.
And then they were on tour with Pantera, Lamb of God, like the same time. It was like they did a Wednesday show for me in Shreveport in between. But so they were doing some crazy shit, and I'm just a big fan of that band. And Renee, the drummer, previously of Stabbing, but I mean anything you've seen of Stabbing, it's him. Disfigured back in the day. Yeah. He's been in the scene that West Texas scene forever.
Sure.
Along with Mike, who wasn't there last night. I never got to. Did you ever?
I didn't see Mike there. He wasn't playing when they're playing on stage.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he wasn't there, but normally he is.
Yeah.
And he's awesome too.
Way awesome. Super proud of him.
No doubt. Because he's in Soulfly, fucking filling some.
Yeah, I did the Pantera, the Illegals. That was incredible. Well done.
He's killing it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good on you, Mike. You deserve it, man. You're throwing in the hard work for many, many years, for sure.
And then, let's talk about him for a second, because I remember
let's talk about
when Cancer Horror started playing Dallas. Because we need to talk about the California scene a little bit. But first, Texas scene, So
sure, of course.
I'm in Shreveport. We have our own little scene. Dallas is the bigger scene, so we shift over, start playing more Dallas. But then, like Austin, he's the guy. Mike is like the main promoter, Disfigured, that the whole area right there. So I remember Malignant Spawn. I wasn't with him at the time, but they played Dallas, and I met him. And he was like, "Oh, so cool." And I met him here and there, like I don't know where, but basically like we were friends, MySpace days or whatever. And when I was with Vital, I'd guessed him on the on my list whenever I'd pass through Austin. And I even remember one time like just standing there and his head poking and be like, "Eddie." I'm like, "Oh shit, yeah, come on." So I was like, I've known him for fucking ever. So then he started just killing it. What was the not SOD? What was the band he was touring with for a while before he started jamming with Phil? MOD or SOD? It's like an old school band, but they were like playing like Stonehenge and like all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I should know. Wish I did know, but I knew everything else except that one. It might be SOD. Stormtroopers of Death.
It wasn't that one. No.
Okay, it might be MOD.
LOD.
MOD maybe. There's I guess that MOD.
I think it's MOD.
Okay.
I say LOD is the Legion of Doom. WWF.
That's right.
Anywho,
WWF back in when it was WWF.
Metal Mike.
WWE now.
Anywho, good guys.
Yeah, great guys. And I was surprised I didn't get to see him. I wanted to let him know how proud I am of him to his face.
Yep.
But it's okay. I mean, I always hit him up and let him know via social media. But yeah, no, it was good times, man. Like I said, I'm grateful that Arkansas even has a scene here for people to even show up and
I mean, it's gonna be growing word of mouth. It's so hard to. It's like pulling teeth getting people to come out there. But once you go out there, especially if you camp out and spend the whole couple days, the food's delicious. They're popping out food the whole fucking time. I mean, honestly, it's just great. And he pretty much owns the town. He's like the coroner works for him.
The
cops are fully
really cool.
aware.
Yeah, everybody's really cool.
Like the whole town can hear all the death metal like rumbling through the whole fucking
the whole spot. Yeah, the whole area.
They don't care. They're all about it. We're bringing like those little convenience stores, like I'm telling you, we're ordering like pizza, shit tons of pizza. They're getting tons of business, so they're all about it. So it's kind of weird to have this little small town out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, that's rare. That's down with stuff like this.
Yeah, I think it's important. I mean, if if you're bringing people from out of town all around the world, and they need somewhere to eat and somewhere to stay, and you want an infrastructure kind of already pre-made, so it's less work on other people.
I mean, if the cops were being dicks, man, it would ruin the whole shit. It's important that town supports it.
Right.
Otherwise,
yeah, like I say, I mean, I'm not from here, so I don't really know how all the politics of things work, in this area. But so far, so good. I'm impressed with it. I look forward to seeing how this thing's going to grow and develop. Just within the year, how much it's gone and improved. I think that's really cool. So, he's on a good trajectory.
Absolutely. And it's been killer, man. Even having you here, man. I'm kind of repeating. We've been talking for days, so we're kind of like rehashing everything we've already said for the most part. But like, when I first started talking to Heath and he started building this up, the whole Heathen House thing, he started with Lividity, and I was like, damn, that's fucking pretty sick. And then it was like Embalmer. I'm like, damn. And then like Putrid Pile and fucking Insidious Decrepity. Sean was like gone for years. People thought he was like dead or something. All of a sudden he books him there. Fucking, yeah, even besides that, Internal Suffering, Pyrexia, now fucking Incantation. Like, it's really amazing that those fucking bands have been on that fucking land, and it's becoming holy land. Like, when I roll up in there, it's like special to me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And Tony started, with us the last time, and Heath had no idea that I know Tony, and so when he told me that, it blew my fucking. It was just as shocking, if not 10 times more, than like, hey, I just booked Pyrexia, which was crazy. But to have Tony Koehl flying out, it was like, dude, man, like.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
It's been
I love doing live art at festivals and events. And I've known Heath for many, many years. I've met him. I almost want to say if I met him at CIM. I think we've known each other about 10 years. But for sure, I remember meeting him at Las Vegas Death Fest and Texas Building Temples of Death Fest. I'm pretty sure. Well, you probably know there's so many of them. When you go out, they'll kind of blend in. You kind of remember, we got that one. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I've known Heath for a long time, and I remember he kept saying that he's gonna want to throw a festival, and then he was doing the first Field of the Dead, which was I think in 2017 or 2018. And unfortunately, I was going through a divorce, so I couldn't make it. It's like the only one I couldn't make it.
Okay, so even back then.
Yeah, I was supposed to come out to do live art back then, yeah. But I was like, I'm in doing a little bit of a family thing, But so they already had the art and everything, so I'm like, I'll just use it, my donation to the cause. And I think Chris Williams, he was doing something with him as well at the time. And so I was grateful to be able to do it, this one again. And
I didn't realize there was that much history with you guys.
Yeah, no, I've known Heath for a minute. It's always great to see him. He's always been a huge supporter of mine. Ever since the day I met the guy, yeah. And so him flying me out here, I'm like, damn, man, that's a big deal. I feel fly anybody out to say, hey, your presence is good enough to be coined here in this little section, and
which we should probably mention too, like Incantation. So Heath's dad, I guess, or he's involved. He is involved with owning like so much land, 200 acres is what he says.
I think so, 200 acres.
So off of his land, his grandma's house, and she passed away, but his dad won't sell it. So it's like right next to the field where all the fest is, like right next door, there's this empty house. It's like totally nice. And so Incantation got flown out, had their own house. I backlined my drums. BJ backlined his cabs. They had their own jam room. It's like super nice. Cabinets full of fucking whatever they wanted. Like they really got the treatment. I was a little jealous, but
well, it's
good
nice.
on them.
Well, it's also too that they have that house available, like you say, for Airbnb and other experiences that you can rent out to individuals. But just to have that for like a jam space for bands to come through,
it's
to
super
button
convenient.
up, that's a big help. Yeah, no, this is really impressive. And I know he was talking about building some other stuff as time goes on. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really special place for the fans of metal. Like, I don't think we have too many things that are specifically set aside for the genre. That's pretty cool. I don't know too many other spots, and if so, at other festivals I help be a participant of, the first thing they'll get you is like the place itself. Sometimes when the festival's going on, they'll add more money during the middle of it somehow, and put more stresses on the promoters and the investors into it. It gets really shady sometimes at some of these events, and it's just nice that Heath doesn't have to deal with any of that. He can just concentrate on the bands and just concentrate there, make sure everybody's taken care of. And I think it puts but just noticing from other promoters I've worked with throughout the years, it seems like he doesn't have to doesn't deal with that. So I don't feel like he's as stressed,
Right. He's actually enjoying it a little more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely a busy man, for sure. But yeah, as you would be throwing your own festival, you're actually the busiest guy there.
Well, it was definitely a killer weekend. I've barely slept.
Same.
I mean, we're just still kind of going.
Yeah, see, we are.
Once I get you to the airport, I'll probably sleep for like 10 hours straight. But great weekend, man.
It was.
So many new friends. Spectacular.